Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan here, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Starlink. Now, I know most of you guys have been asking, how good is Starlink? Do you guys recommend it? How expensive is it? How does it do for gaming? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make a quick video of the do's, what the pros and the cons are for Starlink. So, first off, do I recommend it? Yes, it has been great for us. But we are in a different situation than most. Me and my wife are currently in an RV and we are traveling. So we've gone around from Oregon all the way down to Oklahoma, which we're in Oklahoma right now. And I'll tell you, it has done amazing. It takes just a minute or two to set up and strap up the way how we have it, and it has worked fantastic for us. So do I recommend it right off the top? Yes. Now, I do a lot of gaming. About an hour or 2 hours a day since I haven't been working. I would say that's a lot. And I currently game on a PS5, and I've been playing the crap out of Helldivers 2. And I must say, Starlink has been fantastic. Does it drop randomly sometimes? Yes. But honestly, for us being in the middle of nowhere for a part of our trip, it does really good. Now, we do have the current Gen 3 router. The Gen 3 is what I recommend, and it's the newest of the new. So if you buy one from today on out, you should get the Gen 3. And I've heard the Gen 3 definitely has less issues with it, less problems, and less likely to drop your service or internet. With that being said, I'm going to show you my setup, what I got going on in my RV, and I'm going to show you guys how I have it mounted, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you a speed test of where we're at and how this is set up. And don't mind that. That's a bug zapper because the flies and it's humid out here. We're killing them bugs. Alright, so this is my setup. I'm in the back of my RV here, and I have this set on a toolbox. You might think it's full of tools. It's actually full of household stuff. We used to have this in our kitchen. But anyhow, I got the PS5 set up here with the little 27-inch monitor. I have another one that I used to use for my PC when I was streaming, and I haven't done any streaming on my PC yet, but I must say this internet does good. Now, the Gen 3 router does come with a couple ports to hardwire in. I've heard the other routers don't. I can't confirm that, but I've heard they don't. So you can route up 2 spots directly to it, which is fantastic. So I have this currently hardwired in the back of it. I've had it just running off wireless, and it's done really good. But wired, I've had 0 drops. 0, which is awesome. Now let me show you guys how we have this mounted. So our toy hauler actually has a little ladder on the side of it, and on the side of the ladder you can see there is another pole that goes all the way up, and from that pole all the way to the top there's our little Starlink dish, which is awesome. So this is just a Harbor Freight like flagpole looking thing. That's all this is. And then all I did is got a set screw on it. So you do have to buy the accessory for Starlink to mount to a pole separate. I think that was 40 bucks, but then you can mount that to a pole. You'd probably need a new flagpole here. There's probably a couple bucks for it. And then I just use these super clamps and then some Velcro straps. They're for extension cord clamps. They work really well. I actually have some smaller ones over here. There are these right here. Highly recommend. That's how I have it mounted. Okay, I've got the wire running under to our bathroom window over through there, and then it's running down through here. It gives you a ton of wire. I mean, I think it's like 50 some feet of wire, which is pretty much plenty. Like, we've routed that all around. I do recommend finding a good sturdy spot though, because the first night we had our Starlink up, we didn't have it secured all that well, and it fell and toppled over, and I think it broke the outside seal of it. So I feel like I'm still getting fast internet. Maybe it slowed it down a little bit, but I did have to use a little bit of silicone caulking around the outside of it to reseal it, because I've been worried about the weather. But the weather, let's talk about that for a minute. I've been wondering, how does it do in the heavy rains? Well, glad you asked, because today it was a thunderstorm. So bad, we found out we had other little cracks in our RV that was letting in water. But the Starlink held up great. It's been working good. It did stop service for a little bit and said it was currently heating, and I think to allow all the moisture and stuff to run off of the unit itself, which is also great too, because if it snows and you get some frost and stuff on there, it will heat up and melt all that off there, which is awesome. Also, it did stop internet for about 15 and 20 minutes this morning. We noticed, And we think that's just because of the clouds and everything that's set up above. So, are you going to have perfect internet? No. Are you going to have good internet when it's working? Oh yeah, you're going to have good internet. I'm going to show you the speeds, and you could be the judge. Starlink is $150 a month for us because we're not stationed at a home. We're traveling around. So $150 a month to have these speeds in the middle of nowhere where we don't need internet service on our phone at all, but we can have it from Starlink. That's awesome. Oh, I also forgot to say, here's a quick con that we need to think about, because you and me sometimes forget that that thing needs really good open areas. So if you've got an RV spot that's really shaded, you might find yourself climbing on top of your RV and using the regular conventional mount to set it up there. You gotta be worried about wind and stuff like that, but you gotta get out of underneath the trees, because we had a setup at a RV park where we had a little bit of trees on half of our RV, and I could see straight to the sky. The Starlink was not happy, and it did not like the internet, and so there was too much obstruction. So we had to get a little creative with your mounting. So if you got a ton of trees near you, this probably isn't going to work out for you. But if you got a little opening where you can see straight to the sky, it should work fine. So let me show you the speed test now. So as you guys can see, I just fast forward, I sped that video up a little bit because it's like 2 minutes long. And so you can see the processing speeds. I'm pretty happy with that. It's worked good for me in gaming. Now, if you're doing some heavy streaming or heavy gameplay, you're probably going to know some lag or slowdown or whatever else. But honestly, it's been pretty good for me. The little spots where it's dropped down in service, it's picked service right back up really quick for the most part. So I must say, pretty happy with it. It is expensive though, right? You are buying Starlink for $600. You are buying the router together, and then it's $150 a month for the RV internet service. I do know the home service I think is like $120 a month. Honestly, I'm still pretty happy with it. You could just use your mobile hotspot off your phone if you got like Verizon or AT&T using your data. That's understandable. For us, we have a TV in the front room, a TV in the bedroom, a TV back here, and then I'm gaming back here too. And this thing's doing all that while I'm still being able to game and get down all the time. So I'm sold on it. So thank you guys for watching the video. I definitely appreciate it. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to comment them down below, and maybe I can make a better video or update a video with those questions being asked. So appreciate you guys watching. By the way, subscribe. Why not? All right. Peace.